shareholders, you are the lucky ones. You won the lottery for the in-person meeting. We have an exhibition hall rented at MGM Grand. The other 49,000 shareholders are all there, just getting piped in remote. So congratulations. Before we start, I would like to just point to the screen. This is something Mike's daughter did, just a very quick couple minutes on our company. Try and make Carter from Canada a little jealous. Did that have sound or no? Okay. But we want to give Courtney her due. She is a marketing gal. And yeah, she does it. She does social media posts and stuff like that. She was part of the original crew that just kind of pitched in. So this was done by Manny. Did you guys see this a couple days ago? Yeah. Manny's team did that, and he posted that. Yeah. Okay, that's it, Mike?
No more sound, it'll just roll.
Oh, okay, so that'll just roll through. So, LTNC was established in 2011. It is now 2023, and this is our first annual shareholder meeting. Based on my math, that puts us a bit ahead of dog years as 1 per 7. Although I'm not gonna lie, this last year has felt like every bit of those 12 years since LTNC's inception. I'm sure I speak for all of us shareholders when I say I wish this wasn't the case. We wish we made our investments and we saw a return. Well, let's say we all learned a valuable lesson, one that Bill Gates says in his 10 life lessons, life isn't fair. So let's look at how we got here. Then we will move on to what we've accomplished, and then we will look to our future and doing all the things that will prevent us from going backwards and having to learn more life lessons. First, I would like to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you that are here personally. It was great to meet you guys. And of course, all of you that are joining online via the expert setup from Art, otherwise known as chess, not checkers. When LTNC, thank you, Art. Give him a round of applause. Absolutely. Absolutely. When LTNC and Takeover got together, it was a time of great excitement in our stock and in our products. Takeover Joe was born, and next level hydrogen water was all the rage. 6 months later, we were banished to the expert markets, and the OTC wanted nothing to do with us. What happened? Well, the short version is that OTC markets thought we were being promoted. And in their effort to protect retail investors, they politely declined to list us. At that time, at the insistence of the original CEO of LTNC, Ryan Shadle, who's here today, feel free to ask any questions you'd like, was invited to reapply 6 months later. I have not seen any evidence that we ever reapplied. And with that, the long journey of how to get us trading again was born. Once the time had lapsed past the 1 year mark of non-application, the idea of a spin-out was born. However, then became necessary for 2 years of audited financials, and here we are, still getting the audits done. Here is the 2021 audit in the flesh for those conspiracy theorists who thought the public release was fabricated. Thanks, Art. Feel free to take a look at that. That's the published letter from our auditor. God bless those that question us in all things, frankly. They keep us on track and they keep us accountable. The current team has no objection to that, just like all public companies, sports teams, and politicians should feel. If you're not hiding anything, then what's the problem? Why would you object? I'm hoping our very personal appearance here to everyone speaks volumes as it relates to our intentions. So that's a brief history of how we got here. And now comes the fun part, to discuss the team's achievements and our bright future. With that, let me get to some thank yous and important introductions. I think you all know me. My name is Tom Zarro. Now, speaking of those that hold us accountable, I'd like to mention the Discord groups that came with the initial enthusiasm. If you ever really want to know how people really feel, just log into any one of them. It was my initial involvement with Gold's Discord that allowed me to share my frustration as an investor and more so as a note holder. My beliefs and suspicions were very much aligned with Maurice's, and hence we began the work of implementing good business practices, regaining trust from the shareholders, and building an army of volunteers that mostly came from that Discord. We should all be eternally grateful for each and every one of them. The ones that are no longer here and would like to go off grid, please know that you exceeded our expectations and your losses felt deeply every day. To the ones that are still here, Hottie in Gaming, Hackop in Web Development, Mikey in All Things Needed 24/7, Maurice, your advocate, Rabbi, and all the others that offer wisdom and consultation beyond my abilities.
Can't hear him.
Are we good, Mike?
I posted a link on YouTube where you can have a better picture, a better view.
Okay.
So we'll go on mute off that and we'll.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you gotta take the sound if you're gonna listen from YouTube, but you have a better view on YouTube.
Gotcha.
Mike put his.
Okay, is there any way to mute that, Mike?
Mike put
Seriously.
his mic on mute, so that's why.
I guess I shouldn't have done that. That works.
Okay, so it looks like the Zoom crew, hang on. Okay, Zoom crew, we can hear you talking and we're in the middle of our speech. So please go on mute if you can, and you can watch us through the Zoom or through the YouTube channel for art. So, to the ones that are still here, Hottie in Gaming, Hackop in Web Development, Mikey in All Things Needed 24/7, Maurice your advocate, Rabbi, and the others that offer wisdom and consultation beyond my abilities, and our newest, perhaps our most cheerful volunteer, Chuck in Client Services. In our team meeting this week, Chuck revealed in his first week here, which was last week, he made 95 new friends. So you can see he's much needed. Thank you all sincerely. Hi and welcome. I would like to also thank the other team members, Mike Holley, who is here, Joe, Lockdin Joe, and of course David in operations. All of them are working for free or a smidgen of their worth while we are in this rebuilding process. It has truly been a selfless 24/7 effort. Volunteerism comes in different forms, and at this point, I'd like to introduce some very special people that not only have offered countless hours of free consultation, but also their hard-earned money put in without delay when the need arises. These are your prospective board members: Louis Sequire, Thomas Fitzgerald Sr. with his son Jr., and John Sisson, who is representing Manny Pacquiao, and he is the director of the Manny Pacquiao Foundation. It has been an extraordinary blessing to get to know all of you personally. Our company would not be where we are without all of you. I don't know if you can see me wave. If you can, wave back. There you go. Thank you. That's Louis. There's Mr. Fitzgerald on the bottom right of the screen. Junior. To the left, it's John Sisson. And of course, we all know Lockdin Joe. So thank you guys all. I don't know if you're able to see. We've got a room with 11 people or so in person, and of course Art is filming for those who couldn't make it. So exactly where are we now? In my 40-year sales career, I was by choice a commission-paid salesperson. My attitude was one of, let me show you what I can do, then get your checkbook out and don't be afraid of big checks. It always lent itself to great relationships with my employers, all three of them, over 40 years. I am fiercely loyal. It is that attitude of getting it done first, then announcing, which allows me to offer the following list of accomplishments with pride. On December 25th, 2022, these dates are our best estimates, by the way, so they may be close, but they're close. On December 25th, 2022 was the first communication I had with the shareholders trying to create a bridge. I knew the situation was volatile, and I immediately jumped in to try and help and be the voice of reason. For those of you that don't know, I am also the first note holder that funded the company way back when it first started. On December 30th, 2022, the petition that was submitted by LTNC shareholders was answered in hope to reconnect and rebuild the trust that was severely damaged. On January 23rd, 2023, the company provided proof of payment to the SEC attorney and the auditor. This was strictly a trust building exercise. On February 16th, 2023, we got the hydrogen water back in our lineup, which was discontinued. Later in February, we retained the Nevada attorney that had to be hired to defend against the lawsuits filed here in the state of Nevada. February 24th was the date that we recall where we mended the relationship with Manny Pacquiao Foundation and other private investors to finally reach a settlement agreement, reshaping the board of directors to what it is today, which includes, of course, John, Lewis, and Mr. Fitzgerald. On March 10th, 2023, LTNC and Mike Holley reached an agreement and officially dismissed all the lawsuits against him and the company. On March 22nd, we worked hard to build a new relationship with the PFL, which we continue to enjoy today. Needless to say, the previous relationship was trashed. On April 21st, it was my official, that's the day I officially assumed the role of acting an interim CEO and joined the board of directors. This was in part to replace Toby as the original board of directors. On April 26th, we reached a settlement with Next Level Fitness Water. Another lawsuit was dismissed. On May 31st, 2023, we announced the new brand that was being formed, Lockdin. And then one of my most proud and biggest accomplishments was when I personally went to the store, the embroidery store, and had Lockdin Milo put on a collar and sent to Canada, and that dog still proudly wears that. On June 1st, 2023, we received a report from Borgers finishing and releasing the audit report. That was extraordinary for us because everybody said it was absolutely impossible and could not get done. I considered that proof of life for LTNC, and we further retrenched and dug in. On June 1st, we launched the new website and all the pre-ordering of all the new products, including the nootropic energy drinks, the coffee, the alkaline water, the regular hydrogen water, and the 3 flavors of hydrogen water. Also in early June, we formed our partnership with new brand ambassadors, WBC interim featherweight champion Brandon Figueroa, former lightweight champion Omar Figueroa Jr., and star fitness trainer Omaira Figueroa. Brandon has some really big fights coming up, and I think everyone will be excited to see where Lockdin is branded on his clothing. On June 21st, 2023, we hosted the first of many health and wellness spaces hosted by Mikey, along with me, Joe, and many LTNC investors and Lockdin customers, along with the ambassadors and all the guest hosts that we've had. Soon after that, we launched the Lockdin app. On July 19th, we introduced the Omar Figueroa Jr. Signature Nootropics grape flavor, plus some other flavors. That grape is right around the corner. It's been approved. It's been personally additionally sweetened, which was his request. All natural, all natural. And anyway, that'll be hitting the shelf soon. On July 27th, we announced the new brand ambassador, Wyatt Juggernaut Lozano, 6-time strict curl world champion and 3-time bench press world champion. Also in July, the company signed on with Pacquiao Ventures and hired the marketing company. On September 15th, we introduced Lockdin Kids, and we announced our new kid ambassador, Danny B. She is a future Olympian and district champion in Texas. We also launched the Serving Love signature can, and we committed to becoming sponsors for the Pickleball Championship being held in November of this year in Oklahoma. In September 26, 2023, we launched the Manny Pacquiao Signature Series with the Pineapple Coconut Nootropics Energy Drink, which I think is ready to ship next week. On October 12th, we introduced the new Manny VIP program. On October 14th, we filled the new customer position, Director of Client Services position, hiring Chuck. And October 25th, 2023 is the first annual shareholder meeting for LTNC. So here we are. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So here we are in a room in Vegas summarizing our existence. Why? let's not lose sight of the real reason for this meeting. We are here in person completing a formality in the LTNC bylaws to vote in a board of directors that will take us into the future and hopefully an exchange where our shares can be monetized and our investments can be exercised. This is a critical step in the process of LTNC becoming current. Without this meeting and doing it this way, we would have been setting us up for failure, as OTC Markets does not like control changes after you apply. In addition, background checks of all officers need to be completed and passed. In looking at our new board, I am confident that we are putting our best foot forward. Based on this step, the new board's first order of business will be to apply for OTCIQ access and register to trade. Once the new year arrives, we will submit what will be our already prepared financial statements for 2022 and 2023 and request listing. While I don't think it will be necessary, we can and will retain Glendale Securities to file a Form 15C211 for us for the purpose of liquidity and market making. The board's second order of business will be to replace me. And that does not mean I'm going anywhere. I'm going to be on the board if you guys all elected me. But we all know that when I first started, I've always been introduced as the interim CEO. It was my goal to take this ship off the rocks, jump in, do everything I can to save it, which we've done, and position it for trading and auditability. So I am going to continue to stay on and do that, and I will continue to run the beverage side of things until a suitable replacement has been found. We have begun interviews, we've launched a search, and the person that comes in is going to have to be a world-class executive, because this is a world-class bunch and a world-class group of products, okay? And I think it was you, Beach, that said right off the bat, that guy's got no beverage experience and he's too old. Not that stuff matters. I'm just kidding. So we will continue that search. That person's going to be phenomenal. And again, I'm not going anywhere. I shared with all of you that I've had just a couple employers in my life. I've been married to my beautiful bride for 33 years. When I start something, I finish it. I'm hoping everyone can see that we are doing all we can to not only save the shareholders, but build a company where the shareholders can thrive. Until trading is approved, whether it be through LTNC becoming current or a spin out of one of our subsidiaries, please enjoy the incredible products that we have developed, designed, and are now selling in multiple channels across the United States. At some point, we can all say we were there when Lockdin just started. I thank you sincerely for your trust, for your patience, and your business. If there are any questions for me or any of the board members, I'm happy to answer.
So I do have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I'm
sir.
sure
Is it for me or the board?
It's for you, probably, at this point. The board will certainly play a part in the question, and I think this is probably what everyone is thinking right now. When do you anticipate filing for OTCIQ access?
The answer to that question is as soon as humanly possible. It is my belief that we can't until we have 2022 and 2023 complete. Now, there's a technical aspect of this. For LTNC to become current and to register for OTC access, we do not need audited financials. So when you hear me say 2022 and 2023, those have to come from our accountant, but they don't need to be audited. They can be generally GAAP accounting measures, whatever that term is. Did that answer your question, Ryan?
It did.
Okay. Art, do you have any questions from any of the shareholders watching?
I let them know that they can start asking questions, and I'll ask them for them. I do have a question. So when we get LTNC Pink, will previous management shareholders, will they have any hindrance in what we want to do moving forward?
I'm not quite sure of the question. You're going to have to be a little bit more specific.
Jason, because again, isn't he still a pretty big shareholder?
Jason is a very big shareholder at this point.
So moving forward, for any business operations we want within the LTNC shell, does he have any power outside of holding shares to stop anything?
The answer to your question is no, but I want to clarify something that you said. And it's a shame that at 61 years old, I'm dealing with litigation and lawyers for the first time in my life. So I'm paying attention to words. And you said in the LTNC shell, I want to make this very clear. Since day one, that man walked through the front door of the Securities and Exchange Commission, filed his paperwork, and LTNC was a starting business with a business inside it since day one, and nothing's changed. Now, I've heard a lot of people say, just get us trading, just get us trading, just get us trading. Who cares about all this stuff, right? You've heard it, you've seen it, you've been on Discords, you've been on Twitter. Well, guess what a company is that trades without a business in it? It's called a shell. Anybody want to be a member of a shell? You want to tell her that her shares are in a shell instead of a thriving business? Not me, not when I'm at the helm, not going to happen. So we're going to build this business until OTC Market says, yes, you can apply, or no, you can't, we still don't like you. And then we have multiple subsidiaries that we can spin out, and if God forbid that doesn't happen, there is a plan C. I don't like it, but it would require us to purchase another vehicle and dividend the shareholders in that. I did not start this almost a year ago, and I'm not here to be thanked, and I'm not here to be patted on the back. But I did not give up what I've given up to not succeed in bringing this home for all of us. And that's gonna happen as long as I'm alive. And if I'm not, and I've told my wife, if anything happens to me and we have private investments, you make a phone call to that man and he will tell you how to handle it. So if something happens to me, we've got a board and we've got a gentleman that will do anything he can to get us traded. Did that answer your question? Sorry, getting a little fired up here. Damn, you tropic drink. I drink about that much. Damn, Joe, I ain't gonna sleep tonight.
I got two questions from the Facebook group.
Yes, sir, Russ.
One's just a funny question, the other one's pretty much serious.
We're allowed to laugh.
The first question is, when will the spinoff happen and what will the share count be? I know you discussed before, 1 for every 100. Is that still in play?
Well, when will the spin-off happen? Let's talk about some rumors.
If we go that route.
Yeah, let's talk about some rumors,
Yeah.
okay? I think many moons ago, I may have said if everything goes our way,
Right.
we'll be prepared to file a spin-out in October. If everything goes our way. Well, since then, new lawsuits have been filed, right? The audit's taking a longer period. The previous management had all of our accounting overseas in the Philippines, okay? When this new team was formed, we took the accounting and said it needs to be in the United States of America, and it needs to be done in-house because it's critical for trading, it's critical for auditing, and it's critical for the Securities and Exchange Commission. So we brought it in-house. So now, locked in employees, if you will, independent contractors working for us, are handling all of our accounting. But that wasn't the case in 2022. So now we're having to reach out and get things. Auditors want to know, what was this in? You paid this bill. What was it for? Show me the invoice. Well, we're going to the Philippines. Mike has done an incredible job assembling all that. It's been an overwhelming task, but it's delayed us, okay? Now at this point, with the exception of a couple forms that are still on my desk that require incredible thought, because it talks about the integrity of the books. And I have to make 100% clear that I'm answering those truthfully to the best of my knowledge. And so I'm going through them methodically and slowly. But they will be turned in, I'm guessing, by Friday. So now the auditor has everything from us. He's got his confirmations. What a confirmation is when he sends out, he says, Beach, Lockdin says, or Takeover for 2022 says, they owe you $12,412. Can you verify that? So then he sends direct to the auditor, yes, I've checked my books, that's a valid amount. So all those confirmations are going out. That's the next step in his process, and then validating our receipts and matching them up. At that point, we hope we get, wherever that is, the email from Ben saying, Tom, we're complete, send us the money you owe us, and we'll issue you the published letter. So that's what we're hoping for, okay? As far as when, there's a lot of variables in the best way to protect the retail investors, okay? And I thought I was invested heavily monetarily. I thought I was invested personally when I heard the stories through the Discords and the Twitter. But I can tell you, after meeting you guys personally, I am more invested than getting this done. And I know there's just a handful of you guys here, but that 13-year-old kid's got shares in this company. They gotta mean something. I don't want her to learn that lesson the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna do this, but I don't know when. I can only tell you that we're not gonna stop. We're gonna do it as quickly as legally is able, and I have plans A, B, and C. And whatever is best for you guys is what we're gonna do, because there's no other agenda. None.
Sounds good. Then, the joke question, I would say, guy just says, when do I buy my Lambo the color of bacon bits?
Okay,
I'm just gonna refer him to his YouTube channel and.
Yeah, well, here's the answer to that. How many shares do you got? All
I was
right?
thinking that.
How many, here's the next answer to that. How many cases of Lockdin Beverages did you buy?
Exactly.
Because in order for that Lambo to come, those have to sell. Connect those dots, Mr. Facebook funny guy.
Exactly. And then, you've already touched on this, a hint of where the audit is at in getting pink. You've already touched on that.
Yeah, well, again, pink is gonna be up to OTC Markets. I don't have a commitment from them, but I don't have a dismissal from them. Okay, but we're gonna apply day one.
Yeah,
We will be prepared to walk in day one.
sounds good. And you believe that day one will be after the 2023?
Calendar year.
Yeah.
The calendar year the clock has to strike 12 on New Year's Eve. At that point, we walk in, we prepare with our financials. We've already applied for an online account. We're in the process of navigating that. If they will accept a personal visit, I will personally go back to New York and meet with them, share our story, explain who I am, go in with that board of directors, those people that you're looking at, including Manny Pacquiao's representative, if not him personally, and say, this is our story, this is what we want to do, please tell us what we have to do.
Yeah.
Now, I will also say this, I'm not going to do anything to screw that up. So as much as I love engaging with the shareholders and being on those discords and bantering on Twitter, I can't. I'm pulling back from everything.
Yes.
Probably Spaces too. I just don't want anybody to come back and say, well, this guy's on Twitter Spaces telling everybody to buy that, and you know, we just can't have it. We can't. So until we're trading, I think it's best I just step back. Y'all have you can get my phone number, probably Google it, and I'll give it to you. You have my email address. If you need anything, just call.
We do have a couple questions coming in now. We have about 100 people on live, so we have a nice show going. Yasmino Sanchez, she says, what current channels are we selling into now besides direct-to-consumer?
That's a great question, and if I didn't know better, you would have been teed up by the team. So we're selling direct-to-consumer, and our immediate goal to sell regionally is still in place. We have a couple stores that are placing their order this week, next week, for pallets of product to start distributing in very small places. One gym and one store. There's no exaggerations here, okay? However, we are on the verge, and I've got clearance from the board to hire a gentleman that owns a company that takes products and new brands like ours and puts them out there. So this gentleman's name is Patrick. That deal is not inked, but I expect it to be. And then he will be taking our products. He specializes in the convenience channel. So he's based in California. He's got a great reputation. He's young and enthusiastic, and he offers somewhat of a fractional service for sales of new beverage products. So we're not going to be taking on the overhead of an expensive salesperson. We're taking on a fractional expense and a guy who really likes us that I've been in contact with for the last 6 months, just trying to work out the deal when the time is right. And we have verified the time is right.
All right. Gene says, we love you, Tom. Kyle Brown asks, are there any new pro athletes we're looking at signing in the near future, or any new pro sports leagues we're looking at partnering with?
Well, our network, part of building this company and trying to do it the right way, we went in with the purpose of building a global brand. If you look at our board, you can see that's a global board. We've got Lewis, who's in Switzerland. We have Manny Pacquiao, who's in Asia. Tom and Tom are in Florida, and they represent the United States. These people have a tremendous network. They have a tremendous Rolodex. Everybody's got somebody. Is there anybody that we are in contact with today? No. Do we have the opportunity to reach out? Do we have products that I would be proud to have them represent? Yes. It's a function of timing and money. And I would also suggest that it would probably be when we are I would say trading. Trading is going to be the board's first focus, period. Let's get this vehicle trading. And at that point, I would say we have something to offer these celebrity ambassadors beyond who we have. I mean, we got Manny Pacquiao. That's huge. We've got the Figueroas. Huge.
Brett R., what does the candidate vetting process look like from a time perspective? And are you looking primarily outside of our current inner circle? Also, will the position be posted on LinkedIn, Indeed, etc.?
Are you talking about the CEO? It'll be posted on everywhere. I don't want to use a headhunter. They're very expensive. And that's another thing I kind of wanted to share with you guys. Just looking at the room, I'm hoping that everybody can see how we've done things. You will not find in our financials dinners, nights out, airline tickets, entertainment, outings, none of that.
Golf trips?
Nothing. Everything is personally funded by us individual. This room was booked with company expense. And Mike's here for one night and he drove in. That's it. So there's not going to be any wasteful expenses. We're running this like a startup. Many of you are businessmen. I know your stories. You know what it's like. And that's what we're doing. So to answer your question, LinkedIn, absolutely. Reaching out to other industry professionals, you bet. We're not going to do a search through a headhunter.
Tim H., as much as I hate the litigation, can you update us on the current status of the old and new lawsuits?
Well, nothing's really changed. My ambition was always settlements, profits, trading, and not necessarily in that order. And all three of those have to happen in order for us to succeed. So we have an offer in front of James, Mr. DePoletto, and we're hoping that we're close. We're hung up on one item. If we can get past that, I think we can hopefully get to the point where we can begin paying him and knocking down that note. So we're working very hard on that. The Arizona case with Mr. Tucker is completely and totally stalled. The communication is completely stopped. I don't know how to say it. I've reached out every which way possible, including venues like this, and shared my ambition to see us out of court and into the business arena. So, but at this point, we don't have a willing participant on the other side.
I have a question. Do we, because it's all, we're all in the business world, we want to make money. Do we have a little bit of wiggle room on products in regards to, margins? Is there a point when we get to scale that we can lower our cost of production so we can see a better, I guess, what you say, a top line?
Absolutely, 100%. That's a focus. That's a focus. In fact, again, Mr. Fitzgerald and Tom Sr. and Tom Jr. are both in manufacturing. So today was a milestone event, not only for LTNC, not only for the check the box of the in-person shareholder meeting, which again is in the bylaws, but also now that if I'm assuming Mr. Fitzgerald is going to be voted for the board because he makes a great case to be so, he's going to go to work with his son and help on the manufacturing. The interviews we've had with the CEO replacements, if you will, have all thought there's tremendous opportunity for improvement. A couple of them, one in particular, was a gentleman that we were doing business with, and although I don't think we're going to be able to nab him, he said, Tom, I've got tremendous ideas to help your cost of goods and do things. So we've been knee-deep in audits, knee-deep in lawsuits, knee-deep in preparation for meetings like this, but we're going to focus on those cost of goods so we can bring that down. Especially my personal hope is this. Again, Beach, I think, pointed out this is fabulous. This is the best alkaline water out there. But Amazon's got us beat by a few dollars at least a case. So we have 7 or 8 products going live on Amazon, I believe this week. We're going to definitely get into Walmart.com. Ryan's going to help us push that. And I want to bring the case cost down to a competitive number. And with that will come, more sales, which means, more money for the whole company,
Nothing coming in right this second.
I had one more, Tom. Conrad asked, is the relationship with T-Pain able to be recovered, and was he even ever a shareholder or compensated that way?
You know what? Is T-Pain a shareholder?
T-Pain is a shareholder.
Okay, so T-Pain's a shareholder, but there has been no engagement, again, you know my flavor by now. I walked in and said, everybody, we need to talk. And the ones that talked ended up part of the company moving forward. The ones that didn't, I can't answer. We're not engaged with T-Pain. I don't see him part of this company going forward.
I have another question. So I know you want to have a different role moving forward at some point. What do you see as the end goal for Lockdin? Is it a buyout? Are we going to straight business for the next 10 years? Like, what's the goal?
Well, the immediate goal is to build a business. My role, I want to make it clear, I'm not looking, to go to a beach and retire. Again, even though Beach thinks I'm too old, I'm 61 years old, and I dare any of you to try and keep up with me and just start at 4 a.m. on the call in the morning, okay? So I'm only saying I'm stepping out to help you understand that there needs to be a beverage guy here to build a billion-dollar brand. It can't be a salesman for logistics. It's got to be a beverage guy because he knows all the people, okay? So what's our plan? We would probably want to ask him. I know that we have extraordinary goals, and the goal will be to position ourselves to provide value to the shareholders and be ripe to be acquired. Does that mean we accept an offer? Well, that's up to us. That's up to us collectively. We know how to do shareholder meetings. We know how to do shareholder votes, don't we? Right? We have over 49,000 shareholders, and every single one of them is contacted for this vote. So we know how to do votes. So maybe we put it to the shareholders. If I'm still here, I would do it. Here's our offer. Here's what it means to you. You want to keep rolling the dice, or you want to cash out? Let's see if that guy's got his Lambo yet.
Jose Cordova asked, what are the projected sales? He's asking for 2023 projected sales.
The sales are weak. The sales are very weak. We're ramping them up. We just started our marketing. We are in the 30 to 50,000 monthly. I would say even that is a little much. However, our marketing just started. It literally just started. So the shareholders have been, buying the products. We've gotten everything perfected. You'll see the cans are good. The boxes, are now retail ready. The hydrogen water boxes are being redone. We're preparing for launch, if you will. Today or tomorrow, we start our ad budget buy on Meta, which is Instagram and Facebook. So now the company is spending just on that $250 a day to gauge the return on that. So sales can only go up from here, and we're now starting to make the investments with the marketing company to employ all their resources.
In clarification, you said about 30 a month, you're saying, sales coming in?
Right now, yeah,
30,000?
about 30 to 50,000.
Okay.
But we're not, I want to be clear, we're not there yet.
Close.
We're not there. But we're working towards it.
Salvador is asking any products in the future after trading to compete with 5 Hour Energy.
We have the option. We've got the best formulator in the business. Joe created the original shot, which you guys all loved, which morphed into this. And we can create the shot, and it's on the table to discuss. We have another product that we want to develop. Our marketing company has tasked us with developing a direct-to-consumer hero product. So that's what we're trying to do. These products are not easy to ship. They're not cost-effective to ship, so we're trying to develop some other things that will complement our line. Art, Senior?
Yes. Is there any fear that maybe the product line is too robust? And, listen, I love all the products. I've tried them all but the coffee. And, I'm just, what are your thoughts on, having too many product lines without allowing any one of them to really catch fire and can take hold and have individuals, fall in love with them?
That's a great question, Art. I'll answer that in how I handled my logistics career. Okay, what I did primarily is I shipped to the domestic territories, Guam, Hawaii, Alaska, and Puerto Rico. And our primary mode of transport was ocean freight. And I went to the management and I said, you know what? These customers are not just shipping ocean freight, they're shipping air freight. And if we don't provide an air freight solution, they're calling the competitor who does both. So I don't want anybody to go to a competitor for coffee. No offense, bro. I don't want anybody to go to somebody else for nootropic energy drink. I want them to come in here. So I'll put it out to you. Which one of those would you get rid of? Now, we can let the data tell us. We're going to be a data-driven company, okay? But the data is not telling us to can any of those. They're all kind of equal. We don't have a real front runner, even though I believe Manny's pineapple coconut is going to be. We don't have a real front runner yet. But if the data suggests strawberry's got to go, strawberry's got to go.
It wouldn't be strawberry.
I love strawberry, it's her least.
I read all the Twitters, and this guy, one loves this and one loves that. So, they're all manufactured at the same facility, the hydrogen waters. They're all shipped from the same facility. They're all going into the same boxes. I don't believe if we said, hey, if we get rid of lemon lime, we'll sell 3 times as many as those. I don't believe that's the case. I really don't. So for right now, that's the product line, and we're going to find that direct-to-consumer hero product. We have the kids product coming out, and then at that point, I think our line will be complete, at least for now.
And right now, our products are all part of a system. Obviously, the nootropics go, you drink that in the morning, then you drink your energy in the afternoon, then you can drink your alkaline. So everything all runs together. We're not going crazy with, we're making shoes next week. Joe has a method to his madness. And there's going to be other products that are going to be very complementary to these as well.
Thank you.
I got a question here from Mr. Victoria. Are we dependent on Danny to run the company as far as making the products, I believe? And can we be self-sustainable at any point soon to where, I guess maybe make the stuff ourselves without having to go to a third party?
Sure. Well, with the questions regarding can we scale, can we reduce our costs so we can reduce our selling prices, all of that comes with bigger sales. And with every business that I'm sure any of us have been in, it's always a dream to become completely and totally vertically integrated. So if we have a way to create the hydrogen, infuse it into the water, put in Joe's formula, put it into the can, and ship it ourselves, we will absolutely explore that. But right now, I want to make it clear Danny's a tremendous partner. He's been terrific for us. He hit it out of the park with these flavors. They're fantastic. And none of this is easy. All those flavors are prepared elsewhere. There's multiple ingredients in those flavors. Then they're welded together. Then they're shipped to him. And then, then he does his thing. So he's a tremendous partner, but we have to look at ourselves in the future. And we want to scale.
One more question. What's the strategy for the education behind the products? Because I do believe that we're gonna have to educate the consumers because a lot of these have benefits that I'm not sure everyone's familiar with. So from a campaign standpoint, education website, any strategy there as far as educating the consumer base?
Well, you bring up a great question. We have fallen short in this regard. I think it's because of our other initiatives that are critical to the company's survival. But if you go on the app, right? I don't know if you guys have gone on the app and spent any time on it. There's a place where you can ask Joe, which I've done. Ask Joe the question. It goes to his email, and Joe asks it for specific questions. And then there's places on the website for blogs and health and fitness. So with that, let me ask Joe. I don't know if it's going to be easy for him to answer, but Joe, do you have any plans for education, more of a formal, like workout videos? Like Mike said, this is a system that we are operating. Is there any of that you're going to unveil in a formal way for the customers of the company?
It's kind of low. Want to use that?
Yes, in fact, the plan would be due to the effectiveness of the spaces and the participation there, we will take topics week by week, whether it be product usage, intermittent fasting, staying healthy and fit through the holidays, New Year's resolutions, and significantly as to how all of the products can be incorporated into any program. And of course, the shareholders are very interactive as our customers, and so any questions that they may ask, I certainly can address. And I think
The short answer is yes.
Yes.
Yep. Soon. Coming soon.
Thank you.
All right, Kip has a question.
Is that locked in, Kip?
Locked in.
Kip, I owe you a phone call, bro. Tomorrow. Let's connect tomorrow.
He told me you had his number, or he had your number.
Yeah, I owe Clip a phone call. This has been consuming, guys, trying to put it all together. And don't forget, all the work, Mike's done a tremendous job. The transfer agent, again, even they were like, holy crap, you guys got 49,000 shares. That's like NASDAQ level shareholder counts. So this has been a big task. You did a great job, Mike. Okay, Kip, what's up, bro?
So he was asking about the partial orders when they come in because, you know, we only get part of the package for full orders. And he's asking, is there a plan in place moving forward to adjust that so that it all comes at one time?
Yeah, well, the trick is get all the products made, get every product in the warehouse, fill your coffers so you can ship complete. That's necessary for any business, and I'm happy to tell you that I believe today we are complete on all our products in the warehouse. If you've been back ordered on a bundle or lemon lime, you should be getting an alert today or tomorrow, and you'll be rolling. The only thing I think we don't have, Omar's grape and Manny's pineapple coconut. Manny's is coming, like in the next week or so. It's in quality control right now, which is an FDA requirement. Look at that, starting to talk like a beverage guy. Anyway, so we've got a requirement for a holding pattern, if you will. Once that passes, it goes right to the warehouse and ships, and then all you're waiting for at that point is grape.
Brett has another question. Have you looked into utilizing revolving credit facilities to aid in ramping up production and increase sales, or are you targeted on free cash flow to fund operations until the model is scalable?
That's a great question. I would not even consider an outside lender until we were trading and it made sense. But again, I point to your board of directors, the ones who are writing checks to keep us moving forward while we ramp sales up. So again, a big thank you to Lewis, a big thank you to the Fitzgeralds, and the generosity of the Manny Pacquiao team and foundation. So no debt. So I shouldn't say that. Debt, but not, excuse me, either A, toxic, or B, institutional.
I got a couple questions if you're cool with it.
Sure, wherever you
Two of them are from Conrad again. He wanted to know who was manufacturing what and what products and where. So is there multiple places things are being made or what? That's
Yeah, we have multiple factories
Okay.
for multiple facilities throughout the United States, converging for the locked-in line, which the locked-in line that all ships from the Georgia area.
Okay. So
But I have no ambition in sharing factories, recipes, you know. Yeah.
And then his second question was, does the new board that's being voted on have any feedback or anything on moving the company forward? And is there any exciting news to share to shareholders today?
I think I've covered all the news personally because they trust me to have my finger on the pulse. Now, what is the board's role in a company? Well, for the first time since LTNC started, when Ryan had the voting block for LTNC, which meant he had complete control over the company. Then Takeover entered, and that voting block was divided amongst the board, but they were all internal employees. This is the first time in the 13 years since LTNC was formed where we are taking that control block and removing it from the operational people of the company and putting it into this world-class entity that's going to guide us. Their primary role, in addition to managing the big things in the business, is to hire and fire your C-suite, us. They don't like me, they oust me. We don't like what Mike's doing tomorrow, he's gone. That's what their job is. So they trust us to have the news to bring to you. Now that said, feel free to ask them individually. Lewis, Mr. Fitzgerald, Junior, John, anything you want to share regarding your commitment, the company, your involvement, your ambitions with the shareholder community, not just the few that are here, but the ones that are tuning in and the ones that will be watching on Art's recorded video. Lewis, you want to start? Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, so we all have skin on the game, so obviously we want this to be successful for all of us, and it is our intention to turn the ship around and turn this into a successful situation. Obviously, there is still a lot of work to do, and we are trying our best to make it happen. It's not gonna go happen in 1 day or 2 days, but slowly we are going out of the foxhole and we're moving and making progress. So any questions, please, you're welcome, shoot them.
Thank you, Luis. Tom, Senior? I don't know if you can see.
Okay. Yeah, I've been in manufacturing since 1988 with my own company, and I've had a couple other businesses that I've been involved in. So I've had a pretty broad network of people that could potentially be manufacturers in the future. And I think this is maybe the 4th company that I've been involved in. To be honest with you, it's the most exciting. It probably has the hardest road to go from when it started from in the last half a dozen years. But we all are definitely committed to doing whatever needs to be done to get things moving forward and make this a value for all the shareholders.
Thank you, Tom. Junior, we're getting a 2-for-1 with Mr. Fitzgerald Senior. Junior, you want to add a little color to that?
Yeah, sure. Just super excited to be working with everybody here. It's been an adventure to get to this point, and like my father said, the potential for this is it's hard to even put into words. I feel silly sometimes when I say what this can actually turn into with the group of guys that we do have. So as far as we go and what we'll add, it's just essentially our vast network that my father's really built up since I was a young kid. I've taken advantage of it myself, and all of our experience, through our different ventures and working together with the team. Just very, very excited to help people, enjoy these products, live a healthy, better life, and we ourselves hopefully will get healthier and enjoy the products as well.
Thank you, Tom. John?
Thank you, Tom. Just want to say real quick on behalf of Manny, we're 100% committed to making this a global brand, and we are thrilled with the job that Tom and the rest of the team has been doing, and we're behind it 1,000%. So thank you for your faith in us, everybody, and it's been a long journey, but the best is yet to come. I think we've already hit rock bottom, and it's up from here, so we're excited.
Thank you, John. That's very kind of you. Please give our best to Manny and David and the rest of the team. Thank you.
Yeah, I know Manny wanted to be on here, but they're on their way to Saudi Arabia, so they're on a plane right now.
I wish they would have picked a different time, but we'll pray for his safe arrival.
It's a last-minute trip, so sorry about that.
Okay. Was that the questions for the board?
And then another question here from Mr. Rahim. He must live in Canada. Watching from any chance the shipping to Canada can come down a bit? I know this has been addressed in spaces before, but not everybody does the spaces. That will entice more sales. I still want to put in vending machines exclusively here in the area.
We have a very capable business owner shareholder that I need to finish my conversation with him. He has offered to take the Canada distribution. If he has offered some exclusivity, he's willing to take on some Canada distribution for just this very purpose, to take care of Canada. I was hoping at this point we'd be able to discuss that with the beverage guy, but again, we haven't found him yet. So since I'm the beverage guy, I'll finish that conversation with him and I'll bring it to the board for their review. But we can't ignore our Canadian customers. They're vocal, they're loyal, they're wonderful. I mean, who doesn't love, Carter and Milo and all of them, except one, but all of them, right? So we want to make sure the products are available there too.
I got a question for you. When we go into Amazon, you said roughly next week?
Yeah, I mean, we're ready to go. Yeah.
Right. When will you be prime Amazon? Because you gotta load them up with the product, right?
Yeah, and I don't have the answer to that. I can tell you that the company made a big investment, Doug, regarding Amazon and the proper partner to position us globally with Amazon. So this is just not us trying it out. This was us contracting professionals, working with them and taking their advice and growing the brand within Amazon.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, we've made I don't want to say substantial, because again, every expense is scrutinized by me personally, and, but this one made sense.
Excellent.
Yeah, you bet.
Big Amazon guy, it's just, it's so easy and then prime.
It's
and
click, it's unbelievably easy.
we love to buy from the company, but.
Yeah, no, we gotta make it easy for you. Yeah, absolutely. That's our job. Yeah.
I want to say that as far as the affiliate program, where you get, like, somebody uses your link and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been building up some money from people, and I had no clue how to even get the money until I finally looked into it. I had to sign up with PayPal on there, but I did get the money from that, so that was pretty nice that system works.
Yeah, it does. It's another part, we have a real underutilized resource in our gaming professional. His name is Holley. He's phenomenal. He wants to be he's not a front and center guy. He just wants to be the guy that pushes it forward. So we have some more work to do with him for what he proposes. And I know John's marketing team, Manny's marketing team, John, directing some of that, is also exploiting that. And if you have any questions, just shoot them out to Chuck. How do I sign up for this? How do I get paid here? But that's another underutilized resource that we have.
And then on Chuck there, he's very responsive on the email.
Chuck's the best. That's why
he answered an email late on Sunday, and I was like, you didn't have to answer on a Sunday at this time. I was expecting something on Monday. But
he's phenomenal. He's now sending me emails at night saying, Tom, I don't know if you know this, I sent you this email at 2 o'clock this afternoon. I haven't gotten a response yet. I'm like, Chuck, I'm at my daughter's wedding, and I believe, not literally, but, he is phenomenal. And I'll tell you, I don't want to share what he does, but, these guys that are aligned with us as volunteers, these are like titans of industry. I mean, look at these people that have been, I've been on the phone hundreds of hours with the people on that screen. These guys are titans of industry, lending their experience to us. And Chuck is no exception. If he wants to tell you what he's done in his career, he can, but you will be impressed.
All right. The next question I have is the soda can style, is that going to come in effect at any point? Or
yes, in 2 weeks. We made our first purchase of those cans. We are getting them either sleeved or printed. We don't want to do labels. We might have to interimly while we try to put the sleeves together. We're going to try not to. We have a few pallets of the sleeves left that we're going to try and exhaust, and then we will be moving to the standards for all the hydrogen water. The nootropics, all flavors will stay in the sleek cans. Here again, talking about the beverage guy running. Sleeks, brights. What do you think, Mike? I'm doing it, right? All right. I want to be like Mike when I grow up. Did that answer the question? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I forget if you answered this earlier. Jeff is asking, is there any reasons to your knowledge, do you believe, that OTCM would reject us from trading when it comes time?
None that I can see, and I've looked through all the emails now that I'm, officially inside, and again, had some privileges as a note holder with appropriate collateral provisions. So I've had the chance to look at all the emails. I saw them. It was real simple. We believe you're under promotion. We cannot accept your application at this time. Please reapply in 6 months. That's right from the horse's mouth at the OTC. I've seen the responses from Ryan. Will you please consider this? Will you please understand that? We are not under paid promotion. We will show you our financial books. We will blah, blah, blah. The list is this long of everything that was done from him at the beginning when Takeover and LTNC got together, because he was still charged with assisting the company in that process. And they were just 6 months reapply. They were done. There was no more, well, can I come in and take you to lunch and discuss it? That was done. So, but we should have applied in 6 months, and I just can't answer why we didn't. I just don't know why we didn't. And then once a period of time lapses, now you're no longer to just reapply. Now you're back into financials and all that kind of stuff. So,
Were there any market research behind the kids line? Is there any market analytics that say that it's going to be profitable?
I've always been honest, and I'm not going to change that now. So, Danny B is like a hero in her town. Her coach was like, all these kids want to drink is Prime. That's it. They just want to drink Prime. So there's our market research for you, Art. We talked to the coach, we talked to the kids, and they said, we want Prime, and we said, well, we're going to give you something better. And that's what we're doing. So now, once it's officially launched, and once the kids are drinking it, if we can compete with Prime, and they're choosing us repeatedly, we'll continue it in the line. We didn't make a big investment, so hopefully it'll work. And if it doesn't, that may be the one that the data says it's not gonna. But I believe it's gonna. And don't forget, our mission, Joe's mission, is the whole body, the hydration and energy for the whole body and the whole family.
Cool. Who's right here?
Oh, I just wanted to know,
Yes.
when will they start shipping the kids' product?
Mike, do you have an answer on that?
So,
Oh, the Quad C's going out. We're doing that as we speak, I think.
So the kids' product is going to be, it's not going to be a supplement, it's going to be nutrition. So Danny Day has to get new licenses to run some products like this. So his whole facility is being looked at, everything's being upgraded. So it's a win-win for all of us, but we have to go through the process, and he should be licensed fairly, I think, within the next week.
Yeah, the process was, just so you know, I want to add two things, Mike, if you don't mind. One is, we're going to be doing, what makes this a supplement product is the Quad C that Joe developed. So we're going to be doing that in the kids in the interim to get product out there. Then we will complete the FDA testing, and part of that is to send samples and have them tested by a third party. So we're in that process for that. But in the meantime, we're going to put this out in kids.
I have a question.
Sure.
To my knowledge, those certifications that you're talking about for Danny, those are very expensive, time-consuming also. But is he footing the bill for that, or is the company supporting him and helping him in any way?
He's footing the bill, 100%.
100%.
Well,
Yeah.
that's impressive. I mean, that's an expensive process.
Yeah. Well, this is what partners do, and that's why when you ask, are we going to scale and become vertically integrated, never be our own guys and have Lockdin on the building? Yeah, that's the dream. But we can't ignore what our partners are doing now. It would be my hope that we blow up sales just like we did months 1, 2, and 3 with, if you recall, a gentleman by the name of Joe, and bring Danny with us.
I had. Who are the big players in this particular beverage sector, and how are we going to compete with them? So I'm assuming they're talking about the other hydrogen beverage products out there.
Well, there's many of them. We have, for the gamer industry, it's G Fuel or G2, right? And Mike, do you want to take these? I mean, we all know them. Ryan used to drink 4 Red Bulls a day, so obviously Red Bull. If you ask my wife, she wants Monster Silver, sugar-free. I think it's a matter of choice, but I think Monster, Red Bull, Celsius, and then for the gaming community, it's G Fuel.
Hydrogen, there's H Factor water, and I think one other one.
Yeah, there's 2 others and neither of them offer the Quad C. One offers flavors with no Quad C. One is just water with hydrogen in it. There's absolutely no benefit to it.
Their parts per million is lower, I believe.
They're all lower than ours. Ours is between 3 and 5. So we have a higher concentration of hydrogen. We have the Quad C, which is a specific proprietary blend that Joe added. And the way the quad C, those colloidals, mix with the hydrogen gives a rapid response and enhances the response. So I was talking to Kim earlier, and she was saying her dad, may I? Has, a dementia situation and lives and dies by the hydrogen water. First thing he does when he wakes up, pounds a can. So the colloidals deliver it quickly to the bloodstream.
What are the expectations from attendance at the Arnold Sports Festival to be held in March 2024? Also, who will be attending from the company?
I think Joe will be there, and Wyatt, and maybe Mikey. So Wyatt's going to be there as a celebrity ambassador, right, for us. I mean, he's the man there. And I believe Joe goes there every year too. Joe, if you want to answer that, you can. But that's who I would say. If I'm still here doing what I'm doing, those two are going.
All right.
And it's right in Joe's backyard, for the record, Ohio.
Do we have an official contract with Danny? If so, is it multi-year?
No, we're on an at-will contract, if you will.
Who is our manufacturer for the other products?
None of your business.
Great answer.
Those are the questions I got.
I had a question that you've addressed before, but not to maybe the group of people that are listening now. Chances or plans of taking the company private?
I don't see a way that makes sense today. Okay, now, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, clearly, okay? But like when Elon bought Twitter, he took it private, correct?
Right.
Okay, that wasn't a bad deal for the shareholders, was it? They all got cashed out pretty good. So if something comes across my desk that makes sense for us, we're gonna discuss it because we're all shareholders and we all want that Lambo, and I ain't driving one yet. In fact, my wife, we were passing one the other day and it made the sound that makes us all go, oh my God. And she says, you ain't even thinking about that. So anyway, yeah. So if something comes across my desk that makes sense, we're gonna bring it to the board. The board's gonna say, Tom, this makes sense for the shareholders, and we'll make a decision, but I don't see that happening.
But no plans in play right now?
No, God, no. Absolutely. Never been discussed.
That was a question.
No, never been discussed, not in the universe right now.
Good.
We have one focus. We've been talking about it for a year. What are we gonna do? Settlements, profits, trading.
Right.
That's the goal. Nowhere in that is, oh, and then we might go private.
Tim is asking, outside of the products, Manny and his name and influence are our biggest advantage currently. How can we get a can in his hand and leverage that to its fullest?
I've seen the water in his hand.
Yeah, we've got it. We've shown it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's taken it. I've gotten personal photos of him drinking it in his relaxed time at his dinner table. Our product on his table. Do you guys remember I put out, I don't know if I did it or Lockdin News put out, the picture of the nootropics on a beautiful marble table, like a granite. Did you guys remember? That was Manny's counter. That was Manny's counter at his house. At his house. So Manny loves our products. This is like he's all in. He really is.
Have you heard any whispers around, the sports athletes about our product, just like word of mouth? Have you heard anybody coming up to you and say, hey, I've tried your Lockdin water and I really like it?
Not really.
Actually, we do have quite a few people that message us and tell us that they love our products, they want us to promote them, or their fighting league, or other things like that too. We have a lot of stuff going on, which we don't have the bandwidth right now to extend on that. So
Anyway, be careful. You can't have anybody tied to the product.
Right.
Yeah, no, I will say,
Fragile.
yeah, and you guys asked about specific manufacturers. I can tell you that one of the manufacturers we're using for one of our products is going through a process that will allow us to be uniquely positioned to sell into the collegiate athletic, which is, as you know right now, a really bad thing for all these other big brands. So our partner is getting certified in this rarefied air of allowing us to sell into the collegiate market. That's a real, something we got that they don't.
It's called NSF certification, and any collegiate athlete has to abide by those laws. So they have caffeine restrictions, different restrictions on different products. So they try to keep it as clean as possible. And this facility is going through that right now, and it's a big process, and it's really good for all of us.
Yeah, huge, like real big.
Jeff is asking if you can get into it. What are the current margins on each individual product? And if you can't go into that specifically, which one of the products is our best margin right now?
Well, again, like any businessman, we're all going to answer the same way. Not enough. Our best margin right now is the alkaline water.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, the alkaline water is our best margin. But the good news is, I mean, they're all profitable, but we want to, and they all have massive improvement for cost reductions. When you start scaling, when you can start buying 202,000 of these, which is about 18,000 cases at one time, with one SKU, you cut your can cost in about half. So when you start talking about 12 cans per case and cases per pallet, you could see how that would just dump to the bottom line. So everything boils back down to, we've got to get these in bulk, and get the funding necessary to make those investments for the printing and stuff.
I don't have any more.
Is that it?
I don't have any more.
Anything else?
Okay, so Mike, when will everybody know who has been elected on the board? I believe it's been a favorable result for all the people that we put forward, which is exciting. But
Do we have any more in-person votes? Everybody already voted online? Yeah, okay.
you did get some in-person votes and proxies, so those will be tabulated.
Those will be tabulated, yes.
Okay. Okay,
But yeah, by tomorrow we should have
an announcement?
an announcement.
Okay, and it will be my goal, not a promise, but it's gonna be my goal to use a PR service to officially put out an announcement, like trading companies do, so that we can start showing OTC markets that we are following all the rules, and not only are we building a company that's worthy, we're acting like one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, well with that, I think that concludes our first annual shareholder meeting. I hope Las Vegas does not destroy you. I hope you spend enough money here to pay for my personal income taxes, but then I want you to keep some of that money, go home, buy some Lockdin products, and hope and pray for the best for the company. And I hope to be seeing you here next year at a bigger room. Thank you for attending. Thank you.
Thank you.